And while it has been momentary relief to see many detainees returned, and at the very least a slow to the fighting in Gaza, we meet today in horrifying circumstances. Horrifying because for 2 years we have watched a genocide unfold before our eyes, and for 2 years leaders around the world have stood by idly and watched, or in the case of the UK government, have risked complicity. Horrifying circumstances because today, only a week later, we wake up once again to news that Israel has done widespread and reckless attacks across the Gaza Strip, adding to the already staggering civilian death toll. And horrifying because thousands of Palestinians remain held illegally in Israeli detention. Among them, over 100 Palestinian medics, including the director of Kamal Adwan Hospital, Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya. And we know from testimony that we've received that many people held in this prison system are held treated in a degrading way. Many are tortured and some never leave.
And we've got an update as of today in terms of the numbers of healthcare workers who are still being held in appalling circumstances in Israeli detention. So we know that overall there are, as of today, 95 Palestinian healthcare workers that we have verified as still being in Israeli detention. There are a further 5 healthcare workers who have died or been killed while in Israeli detention, and 5 more whose whereabouts are unknown. We don't know if they've been killed or in detention. Of those 95, 80 of them are from Gaza. And of those 80, the vast majority were taken from their places of work. They were at work, as I am here in the UK, looking after patients, providing essential healthcare, when the Israeli military overran the hospitals and forcibly detained them. Others have been detained from ambulances or when they've been going along designated safe routes. Of those still in detention, we know that there are 31 nurses, 17 doctors, and 14 paramedics. And these are highly trained individuals whose skills are badly needed right now in Gaza, where the wholesale destruction of the healthcare system means that not one single person is currently able to access the quality of healthcare that they need.
We were even watched inside the detention cells and not allowed to gather, to discuss, or to do any exercise. This led to health complications, and the detainees all lost weight, anywhere from 30 to 40 kilograms per person. I personally lost 30 kilograms of my body weight. I weighed 98 kilograms when I was detained, and I left detention weighing 60 kilograms. And this has led to muscle wasting and other negative consequences for my health that I'm now being treated for. I appeal to all the people of the free world. I implore you to raise your voices to those in power, to all relevant international organizations, so that pressure can be brought to bear on decision makers to release the Palestinian doctors and other detainees from the Gaza Strip who have committed no sin except that they own this place on the earth. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Rebecca Inglis, and I'm part of Healthcare Workers Watch, a Palestinian-led organisation that is charting the attacks on healthcare workers and on healthcare infrastructure in Gaza. And we're here today to call for the release of the detained healthcare workers. So at the moment, we know that there are at least 95 healthcare workers still being held inside Israeli detention. So of those, we know that there are 31 nurses, 17 doctors and 14 paramedics, as well as a number of other essential healthcare workers. And the fact that they're still being held in Israeli detention is appalling. It's robbing the healthcare sector in Gaza of essential skills and expertise, and is meaning that they're being deprived of their skill set.
We also know, based on testimonies collected by Healthcare Workers Watch and a number of other organisations, that the conditions within Israeli detention are horrific. There is widespread torture, there's medical neglect, and all of the testimonies that we've collected from healthcare workers speak of the same thing, that this isn't just one-off instances here and there. We know that it is systematic across the board. And so we're here today to call for the immediate release not only of these detained healthcare workers, but also of all of the Palestinian detainees who are currently being held, and they number in their thousands, who are currently being held in Israeli detention. So the ceasefire is only the first step, and at the moment it's not even protecting Palestinian lives. We know that there is ongoing killing at the moment today in Gaza. But what we need next is a complete rebuilding of the healthcare system that has been systematically destroyed. So we need the UK government to stop sending arms to Israel. We need international support to try and rebuild this healthcare system. It needs to be Palestinian-led, but we do need international support and funding to try and get this healthcare system up and functioning.